Yo, it's effective immediately. I'm DJ Hed.
What up, Hip Hop Nation? It's your favorite homegirl, Gina Views.
We have a super, oh my God, thespian. Am I using that word correctly? We have a savant of the arts in the building.
Yes.
Gina Views is so excited. Look at her smile. Edwina Findley is here with us.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's so great to be here.
Yes.
For you to have me.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
You are one of them people, again, like I was telling you before we started, like every time we have a black actress in on the show, she looks like this. She just be like, I don't know where to start.
Because I'm such a fan. So it's like, I have to be professional.
But at the same time.
Yeah, like how I just brought up, the Tyler Perry series. You did such a freaking amazing job on there.
Thank you.
If Loving You Was Wrong.
Yeah.
You are Kelly.
Yep.
Your boyfriend was obsessed with you.
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to kill me.
He was a
then...
jailbird. I'm from the hood, so I can
identify with this story.
Yeah.
I remember Tyler calling me one day. He's like, you know what? Here's what I'm thinking about for next season. I was like, Tyler, your imagination.
We just had Richard Lawson on the show, and we asked him the question: when you get a Tyler Perry script, are you as entertained as the viewers when you see the script? Is it like, what the hell is this, Tyler?
1,000%. Because Tyler Perry's imagination is limitless.
Yeah.
So the kinds of places that he will take your character is things that you just would never even envision.
Yeah.
So I remember him, it was one summer, we were on hiatus, and he was starting to write the scripts for the next season. And he called me and was pitching me different ideas. And I was like, I never saw this happening to Kelly. Like, I did not envision that she was going to end up in jail, that
Kelly
she was going to try to kill herself. She went through some things that at the first, season, I just would have never known that by season 4 or 5 of where she would have gone. But yeah, I love working with Tyler.
I know that being an actress, like some things are easier than other things, right? I remember talking to Amen Joseph. And I really appreciate him as a black man because he's really thorough in his approach. Yeah. But I remember asking him, when you go to set sometimes, because I know you did a couple of things that I just want to loop it, make sure you get your credit for. Insidious was one. Mm-hmm. When you go to work, not saying in that, but I'm saying when you go to work and or when you read a script and you know that your character is going to meet their demise at some point.
Okay.
Do you approach it like, man, fuck this scene. I'm finna just like not like that, but
I would have banged.
Yeah, like
I would have banged. Literally,
like you know what? I'll be late to set 15 minutes. You know?
I'm dying anyway,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't her last day of work.
Yeah,
I know, right? Listen, I still got a reputation to maintain, to uphold.
I feel you.
No, you know what? To be honest with you, I feel like in some ways that's when you do your best work.
Really?
Because this is the end.
Like the series finale of something,
right.
or
so whether it's for your character or it's an entire show, this is it. So you put it all on the floor. Mm. Like, for instance, my little girl, she just started playing basketball, and this past Sunday was her last game. I was like, girl, it's your last game. You got to give it everything you have.
I feel that.
So that's how I approach finales.
I feel it. I don't know if I had. You a professional. You
like, oh, you gonna kill me?
Yeah, you gonna kill me?
I'll show you.
I'm sure. All right.
You barely gonna be able to get me in the scene.
I'm gonna be laying there like this.
Eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still here.
Blinking.
The film genres that you've acted in, like how you just mentioned Insidious, and then we talking about the Tyler Perry one, those are like, those roles it's such range because it's so far from the other. How do you prepare going into work in roles like that?
For me, the process of really coming into a character is, sometimes I start with what the character's name is. Sometimes I look up the character's name. So, for instance, this role that I'm starring in now, Sheila in The Residence, I looked up her name first.
Yeah.
And there was a dichotomy. There was one description that said the blind one. And then there was one that said heavenly, like a heavenly light. And so I just started playing with that.
Like the meaning of the name.
Yeah, the meaning of the name. And then I go into, there's a lot of different techniques. I'll definitely do personalization. She's an alcoholic. And so for me, I don't drink at all. So, for me, it was really important to put myself in her position. So I started going to AA meetings. I started reading. Oh, yeah. I started reading the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
What was that like? Going to
It
AA
was-
meeting.
That's
You know what?
dedication.
Yeah,
though.
'cause I wouldn't
That's great commitment.
I felt like it was important. You know, for me as an actor, I want to be as authentic as possible. I'm not interested in trying to play a stereotype or what people think other people are like. I watch documentaries. I, go on YouTube and watch people's journeys that are actually walking a particular road.
Wow.
Because most of the roles that I play are not based on my own life or my own sense of circumstances. So honesty is really important to me as an actor. Authenticity is really important to me. I do a lot of research. So in this case, I'm researching the White House and I'm researching butlers and I'm researching, just so many things. The job, how much you're getting paid. Do people, what kind of relationships do they have at the White House?
Yeah.
And on top of that, like she's a chain smoker. She's a she's not a drug addict, but she's a, alcoholic. And she also has a very tenuous relationship with the truth. So that was something else I researched. Like, okay, for a person who's maybe a pathological liar or a person who's lying under oath every single minute. Right? Like, what is their mannerisms? How do they move their hands? How do they move their eyes? What are those like little fidgety things that sort of let you know that, oh, they're not telling the truth right now. So those all factored into creating the performance.
I seen a couple of projects that were kind of similar to The Residents, like as far as like mystery, whodunit type vibe. What do you think makes this one specifically different?
Well, first of all, the fact that it's a comedy.
Touche.
So, there's a dramatic way into some of these types of projects, right? Like a whodunit and murder mystery. But this is so funny. I mean, the show is hilarious and it's extremely well written. The writer, Paul William Davies, he is brilliant. So, it's one of those projects where you're just enamored by the wordplay because it's so witty and like amazing. And then the characters are so well written. So there's just such a wide range of characters, and that kind of adds to the humor as well. And then there's very touching moments also, like I know for my character, I mean, there's places where she just kind of takes off all the facade, right? Where you just really get a chance to see her heart and who she is and where she came from. And there's this one monologue where she talks about going from the Waffle House to the White House and what that journey was like for her, And so I felt like that was just really important to be able to both write and play all those colors, and I feel like you get that with The Residents.
Yeah. From your experience just with acting just on TV in general, have you found yourself identifying with the roles that you played?
You know what? Most of the time when I first read them, I'm like, oh, I'm nothing like that person, right? I'm nothing like that character. And then it's the process of building the role and the process, because as you deconstruct a character, you are also deconstructing yourself and things that you may think you never do or ways that you think you never speak or all these things. Once you strip it all away of yourself and that person, you start to realize that you're a lot more similar than you are different. And I feel like being an actor has also taught me that just by moving through the world, people that I may have judged or people that judge each other. But when you actually take a moment to walk in someone else's shoes, which we very literally do as actors, you start to realize that actually we are one race. We are the human race. And we go through the same things, and it's important to find the humanity in all of us.
I think it's dope. Just for you, I'm just saying for you specifically, but I think it's dope in the Shonda world. I guess you could call it like how Tyler has
Shonda
his
universe,
like how Tyler has his universe, and then the Marvel has their universe. I think Shonda has her own universe. Issa has her universe. I think it's dope. Like I always see the portrayal of Black women in such a way that's powerful. But it's real. Like it's not like there's a Black woman president, but like this role is just as important. If she Carrie is just as important, if not more important than Fitz was in the show. Right. Were you a Scandal fan?
Right. Oh, I was a huge Scandal fan.
Because I'm using these references.
No, right, and that's the route. You're like, do you even know who I'm talking about? Yes, I know who you're talking about. Okay, I was a huge Scandal fan, and what I loved about Scandal so much was the writing. And actually one of the same writers from Scandal is the writer and creator of The Residents, right, Paul. And so that's one of the things I love. Like I loved watching it, and then now that I'm acting in a Shondaland show that has that same witty, these monologues that can go on for pages and pages, as an actor, it's like a dream.
Is that something that when you look at the script and you seeing this, and it's like, okay, I have this monologue to do. Do you? Because I remember when I think we were talking about I forgot who we were talking to. I think Essence Atkins.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking about when you have these scenes and you have to do that. Do you kind of freestyle? Do you allow yourself? No, we were talking to Richard. I'm sorry. Do you freestyle? Do you allow yourself liberties, or is it like, no, you need to say this line for line, or do you improv some of it? You kind of freestyle the shit, like.
I'm laughing because on our very first day, we have table reads, right? And so that's when all the actors from the show come together along with all the executives and the producers, and everybody comes together around big table, and they read the scripts together. And so Shonda Rimes stood up, and pretty much right after she said hello, it was pretty much, don't mess up my ish.
Oh, she not playing none of that.
She is not playing no improv, nothing. No. If you are a part of the Shondaland universe, you are speaking each word for word, exactly as written.
Oh, damn.
Period.
She run a tight ship.
Period. So that was clear.
Yeah.
Now, what wasn't clear for me was that as someone who's from D.C. and I know the idiom, I know the language, I know the dialect. So there's certain words that as a D.C. girl maybe changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Fact.
Right? And so for me it was, okay, do I have the liberty to say ain't instead of isn't, or in instead of isn't, right? Like, it's a choice. So basically what I would do I would do the performance exactly as written, and then I would say, can I have another take?
And then do your
and right and ask for permission to put a little DC on it. And then at the end of the day, it's the editors and the directors, that decide what they want to keep and what they want to, release. But at least you will have given both sides. So in the Shondaland universe, there's no such thing as you freestyling.
No improv.
No.
That's great insight, because I didn't know that she was like, she get out like that.
She don't play. Don't fuck my script up.
Right. Please don't.
Don't take no liberties with my script. Like,
how? I mean, I think as an actor though, it's nice to rehearse that way if you want to rehearse that way, right? Like to just get it in your body and get in the character and all of that. But when it's time to go, but I approach all, because I had a very classical background as far as acting. And so with Shakespeare, it's the same thing. You do not sit around and improv Shakespeare. You do not freestyle Shakespeare. It is word for word. It's iambic pentameter. Every single line has a rhythm.
Yeah.
You can't mess up the rhythm. So, that's a lot of how her projects are too. So I respect that.
That's so funny you mentioned Shakespeare. I had such a hard time understanding Shakespeare in high school that I went to, what is it called? Spark Notes?
Oh, yeah,
Spark
right.
Notes. And I read my teacher made us perform Shakespeare. So I would be the only person in the class that's speaking regularly because I'm reading it from Spark Notes. But I talked the way that I talk when I said it. And she was just so freaking impressed. But she didn't know I was cheating.
Well, but I love that you were able to find that, because that's the thing. I think especially as African-American young adults, like I remember being a kid and like learning Shakespeare, and it just felt like this completely foreign culture.
Yeah.
But what I love about that story is that you were able to find yourself in the material once you understood what was being said.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing, because I think that Shakespeare wrote with that heart. Like, he wrote with the heart for everyone. And that's why even in his performances, like, even though a lot of times the classes wouldn't mix, right?
Yeah.
Like the aristocrats and all of that wouldn't necessarily mix with the poor people. But at his shows, he had carved out places for both, for everybody to come together. So, some people try to make Shakespeare the most lofty thing that's completely inaccessible, but I feel like what you did was actually in the spirit of William Shakespeare.
Yes. I want to talk to you about this. Just to go back to Kelly, your character is Kelly. Yeah. One of the things that I also liked so much about Kelly was that you, as an actress, you were natural on the show with your hair. You were natural.
No. Oh, you're thinking about Natalie.
Oh, okay.
Her hair was natural.
I don't know why I thought you was natural.
I wore a wig on that show.
You
was natural underneath.
Okay. Well, still, Tyler Perry always get killed on social media for the hairstylist, like the way that how the hair looks or whatever. Mm-hmm. Have you experienced just in acting in general, not any specific production or set or anything, that the stylists don't know how to do our hair?
I think all African American actresses have experienced that at one time or another. Definitely when I was like younger in my career, I absolutely experienced that. Mm-hmm. In fact, there was one time, I felt so bad. I was doing this one show. I'll not say the name of the show because you probably know it, but
when did the show come out?
I'm not telling you. I just said early on.
Right.
And I had like a stunt double, and so the stunt double, she had all this really long hair and she had these long nails, and apparently in her family, like that's a part of their culture, it's a part of their tradition, right? To like grow your hair as long as possible. So all her siblings, her mom, everybody, and nails too. Like that was a big part of who they were in their culture. I was like, oh wow, that's beautiful. Well, I had a very short haircut. Those people chopped off her hair, chopped off her nails.
The stunt double?
Yes. And then she didn't even end up I ended up doing my own stunts.
Oh shit.
Wow.
It was like I wanted to cry for her, and I'm like, why did you let them do that? Why? But she was young and I was young, and we didn't know like what to say or how to speak up and what we need and what's important or valuable to us. I've certainly lost hair, all of that. Like I've experienced that. So I feel like now we're in this kind of season though where a lot of African American actresses are speaking up and saying like these are some things that we need, right? Like we need a sensitivity on some things with regards to us. And so but we just didn't have that back then. So we got through it the best way we could.
Even with like I remember growing up like watching like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, and the black female characters, their hair will always be like, it just was bad. It was just always bad. Do actresses have a say in how they want the character's hair to be?
Yeah, well, usually, especially if there's time in pre-production, we can talk through things. Like with Sheila, for instance, with this character on The Residence, that was a big thing to me because I had such a strong vision of her that I already knew, I saw her in a very specific way. But thankfully, because I came in like that and I showed them what I saw, they didn't want to divert from that. Even when I was like, oh, well, maybe we should play with this, or maybe we should do a bun, or maybe they were like, no, we want it exactly the way that you started out with. That's how we want it. And that, so I guess they caught the same vision I had, and then it was just great.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
As I've always wondered that, and now I done pulled up Kelly. You right. I thought that was your hair.
No, you right. You right about you.
You're right about you. Now, one thing I did though, that first season, I had like some of my own hair out.
Yeah, I see some leave out.
Right, but
leave out
right first.
What is leave
right,
out?
that was the first season. After that, it was like, nope, we gonna braid it all up. We wear the wig, that protective style, because by the time you keep putting so much heat on it every single day, multiple times a day, it's just hard for your hair.
How's the I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to know, how's the friendship with characters if we talking about again like the Tyler Perry, you guys the characters all lived on the same street. But you guys did about 4 or 5 seasons.
We did
5
seasons,
and the seasons were long as hell. So
a lot of like 20.
There's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
And now you're doing a new show where it's multiple episodes.
Right.
How's the friendship amongst actors off screen?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Gotta be
First
crucial.
of all, I'm still extremely close with the cast from If Loving You Is Wrong. We've been to each other's weddings, each other's baby showers. We are still very close. And the Residence cast is extremely close. We're all on a text chain, and I don't know about any of y'all, I hate text chains.
You had group chats?
Full on group chat.
I only don't like
That's
them.
how much we love each other. I don't want nobody putting me in a group chat.
How many people was in the group chat?
In this Residence group chat, there's probably 15 of us. There's a lot, like,
Is it blue or
castmates.
green?
That's how much we love each other. Oh, right, that part.
Because that's what makes me hate a group chat. When it's green, I don't like it.
You know what? We do it on another app. all
Gotcha.
together.
Oh,
So
okay.
if somebody wanted to leave, but no one's ever wanted to leave. In fact, people are like, oh my God, I got kicked out. Can I hop back in? We literally love each other. And that will take love because I don't want nobody put me on no group chat. But we are constantly going back and forth, the whole cast. So yeah, it's been a real delight working with them.
She said it's 15 of y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and you hate it.
I love it.
Oh, you love it.
I love this group chat with with the residents cast. They're amazing. But that's why I say, but it's good to do it on like a third party app, because then you could just be like, I don't want to hear it right there, right? Mute that, and then when you wake up, then you could just
Yeah.
I also want to give you a credit for for Get Hard.
Yeah.
With Kevin Hart.
You know what? First of all, I felt the same way about Kevin Hart that I did with Will Ferrell, because they both were, in the, we were all in the film together. They're so funny. They are so extremely, extremely funny. And now you talk about improv. Both of them, I feel like that's where they really light up, is in the area of improv. And a lot of times with comedy, traditionally, you have that kind of room. So I did have some room with the residents where there are places that's called MOS, right, where the character has no lines, where there's no written lines. And that's where you really have room to like do all kinds of things. So that's what I chose for Sheila, was in those places that there were no lines written. I came up with all kinds of lines that actually I realize now in looking at it that they kept a lot of them.
Yeah.
So there is this element of improv. But with like movies, and especially with, those two great icons, Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell, improv was welcomed. And so there were times where literally like I had to hide under set pieces because I was laughing so hard and I could not stop. Like I couldn't get myself together.
Yeah.
What was your introduction like with Kevin? Do you walk? Because I've never met him before, but I feel like if I was to see him in person, I would just start laughing.
Oh,
what was like the first what was your first?
What? To be honest with you, my first encounter with him was actually very heartfelt. Okay. Because I knew I was playing his wife. So for me, again, as far as like research and, doing that kind of work before meeting people, I watched this interview that he did with Oprah. And as I was watching it, he started talking about his mom and how his mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
Oh, wow.
And at that exact time, my own mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
Oh, wow.
And when I heard him talk about his mom, and there was a whole story about a Bible that he shared, and it really moved me, And so when I met him, when I flew down to New Orleans, which is where we filmed, that was one of the first things that I said, was like, my condolences on your mom. And I'm kind of going through that journey right now. And so we were able to connect on that level.
Yeah.
Which I always, when it comes to filming, you're jumping directly into these relationships, right? Like your husband or your wife, right? Like this is an intimate relationship, and you're just now meeting a person, right? Yeah. So it's not natural. It's not a natural human thing to like, suddenly you're my kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So as an actor, you have to find your way in. And a lot of times I'll do that by finding intimate things to be able to talk about and share, on that level, so that you're able to kind of pretty quickly go deeper than you would at like just, hey, I love your work, you know, okay, let's do this. So that's how we initially connected.
Well, congratulations on your new role. Thank you for pulling up and kicking it with us.
Also, talk about the world is waiting for you.
Oh, so I have a new book coming out called The World is Waiting for You. And it's really for anybody who has a dream and who has either felt stuck or who has felt like, why me? I'm not sure what my purpose is. Do I have what it takes to come out in the world and be the fullness of who I feel called to be? Viola Davis has written the foreword, and I'm excited about it. The subtitle is Manifest the God Dream over your life. Embrace your calling and manifest the God dream over your life. And I feel like all of us here are really living a dream, right? We dreamed to be in some of these places, and here we are. Sure. So I just really want to encourage other people that there is a grand God dream. Like Oprah says, God can dream a bigger dream than you can dream for yourself. So you can just get that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. The World is Waiting for You by Edwina Findley.
Damn. You gonna take all the jobs. All right, but thank you for pulling up. And,
Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking your time.
I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about The Wire. Y'all so busy talking about if loving you is wrong.
Well, if we can get 5 more minutes.
Wait, they said you had to go.
Oh, yeah.
We just want to make sure we're able to give you your flowers while you can smell them. We have to do that with our legends. And it's Women's History Month.
Women's History Month.
So proud to have you here to celebrate with us.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
It's effective immediately. We'll see you next time.